10 amazing DNA facts you may not know. As a laboratory with a successful track record providing peace of mind and court-approved DNA testing, we understand the complexity of DNA and what it can tell us about human beings. Our in-house geneticists analyze DNA samples every day to verify biological relationships between family members, from determining the identity of a child's biological father to confirming whether twins are identical or not. But what is it that makes DNA so special, and how much does the average person know about this complex molecule? In this blog, we're taking a closer look at DNA, what it is, and 10 fascinating facts you may not know. What is DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA, is the incredible molecule that carries all our genetic information. It contains the genetic instructions that ensure living beings can properly develop, survive, and reproduce, with every human being inheriting half of their genetic material from each of their biological parents. DNA can be found in almost every cell in our body, except for red blood cells, making it an essential component in what makes us human. Here are 10 more amazing facts about DNA that you may not know. 1. All human beings share approximately 99.9% of their DNA. Although every human being is unique in their own way, all of us share approximately 99.9% of our genetic material. This shared DNA writes the code for all our cells and tells them how to function. The tiny amount of DNA that differs, 0.1%, is what makes us different from one another. This area of our DNA is responsible for determining our physical characteristics like eye color, skull shape, and skin color. 2. It would take 50 years to type out the entire human genome. There are around 3 billion units that make up the human genome. It would take around 50 years to type out the entire genome, but you'd need to type at 60 words per minute for 8 hours per day. 3. DNA is made up of 4 key building blocks. DNA molecules are made up of 4 chemical bases, nucleotides, which are the building blocks of nucleic acids: adenine, A, guanine, G, thymine, T, and cytosine, C. 4. If you stretched out the DNA in one cell, it would stretch to 2 meters long. If you did this for all the DNA in all your cells, it would stretch to approximately twice the diameter of the solar system. 5. Around 5-8% of our DNA isn't human. It's viral DNA. Human beings are thought to carry around 100,000 pieces of DNA that we have accumulated from viruses over the entire course of our evolution. 6. We're closely related to a creature called the star Ascidian. This flat, gelatinous creature is actually a colony of individual animals that live among rocks and seaweed. It's also the closest invertebrate genetic relative to humans. We share around 77% of our DNA with the star Ascidian. 7. And even more closely related to primates, all human beings share 98.7% of their DNA in common with primates like gorillas, orangutans, and chimpanzees. 8. Genes only make up about 1-3% of your DNA. The rest of your DNA is thought to control the activity of your genes. 9. Our DNA undergoes small mutations every day. All of us have some form of mutation happening within our cells daily, but that doesn't mean you'll be a superhero anytime soon. After all, these tiny mutations in our DNA are what make us human, with such variants being responsible for differences in eye and hair color and blood types. Hundreds of times per day, something happens within our DNA to cause mutations. This can be caused by a variety of things, from exposure to UV radiation to medication, drugs, and viral infections. Thankfully, our cells can quickly adapt to these changes, and most mutations in our DNA are harmless or even helpful. In some cases, however, these mutations have been known to cause diseases, like cancer. 10. It's possible for one person to have 2 sets of DNA. Although rare, it's possible for a human being to have 2 completely different DNA profiles. This phenomenon is known as chimerism and can happen during pregnancy, where the mother retains some of her baby's DNA, or when a fetus absorbs its twin. It can also occur in patients who've had bone marrow transplants, where the donor's bone marrow continues to produce blood cells containing the donor's DNA.